Holy smokes. This is probably the most insane trade in NBA history. Now, usually I don't make videos like this, but considering the magnitude of this trade, this is one of the rare occasions. Let's start with the Dallas side. So, for people that are just caught up, Sham said that LeBron, AD, and Luka all had no idea this was going on, which means that this must have happened all so fast and shows how much Dallas really values Anthony Davis. It was reported that the Mavericks had reached out to the Lakers about the idea of trading Luka because they wanted AD, and the fact that this all happened so quickly tells me that they never wanted the Lakers to really get LeBron involved in case this doesn't go through. I want to start with the good side just because for y'all Dallas fans, I feel for y'all for having maybe the two worst owners in history, but I promise you that this trade does benefit you. The biggest positive is that the Mavericks defense is significantly better, and I cannot stress that enough. With three bigs in AD, Gafford, and Lively, this is about as good of a defensive front court as there is in the league. With AD back at power forward, Dallas will be huge, and teams are going to struggle to get in the paint. The benefit of having two bigs playing at all times, especially when Davis is out there, is that it allows Dallas to switch pick and rolls more effectively. Because even if they drag Davis out on the perimeter, Gafford or Lively will be the rim protector, so there's always going to be size at the rim. When Davis was in LA, he primarily played the 5, so there was a ton of pressure on him to drop enough where it discouraged the guy to shoot, but to also get back into the paint. And no matter how good you are, and 80 is as good as it gets, it's almost impossible to do that consistently. But now with Lively and Gafford, 80 can switch more often, which he's good at doing, so Dallas all of a sudden has a ton of defensive flexibility. If you go back to the finals, Boston did a fantastic job stressing the Mavs bigs because they had way too many holes to cover. With Luka and Kyrie being poor defenders, the Mavs bigs had to help as much as possible, and Boston moved them around with their great spacing to get in the paint. In addition, they also continuously picked on Luka Doncic, and he for the most part could not consistently stay in front. That led to a bunch of kick-out threes, and the Mavs did not have an answer. The other major change is that Dallas's offense won't look the same every single possession. Yes, Luka Doncic is a megastar, no doubt about it, but the Mavs could only play a heliocentric style because you need to give Luka the ball for him to be effective. Luka's about as effective as you can get, but when you play really good defenses like the Celtics in the finals, they can formulate a game plan around slowing him down. Now with Davis, they're going to have an interior threat and a good mid-range game for the first time. And I believe that he can naturally play off the ball better with Kyrie because he can catch lobs and play pick and roll with them. But the thing I'm curious about is how Davis will work with Gafford and Lively. For teams that play two bigs, it's almost necessary that the power forward can really pass the ball, and I'm not sure how good of a passer Davis really is. Can he throw lobs when he has to? Can he find the right man on double teams? A lot of those reads belong to LeBron, but now will fall on the shoulders of Davis with Gafford and Lively in the picture. Now with that said, there's definitely some noteworthy things to consider. Tim McMahon reported that Luka was approaching 270 pounds, which the Mavericks thought was responsible for the injury suffered this season. But I'm wondering if Dallas knows something more about his health and condition that we don't know at this point. It's hard to think that him being fat is the main motivator to just straight up trading him. I know it's been 5 years, but he's gotten you to the Western Conference Finals and Finals. He's the type of player that you figure out how to build around his deficiencies instead of just shipping him out completely. But the fact that they shipped him out pretty fast must mean 1, they think Anthony Davis is a more valuable player, and 2, these conversations about his weight must have been going on for a really long time. And that's the problem I have. It's how fast they shipped him out. Yes, they definitely could have gotten more picks, but how the hell is Austin Reeves not part of this deal? He gives Dallas another ball handler to run the pick and rolls that Luka ran, and would give the Mavs just more shot creation. Their second best shot creator right now is Spencer Dinwiddie, someone who has played pretty decently, but having someone to really take the load off of Kyrie means they would keep around 70 to 80% of the creation that they had and also add the best defensive player in the league. The other thing is the risk. Kyrie and AD aren't the most healthy players, and now they have both of them. Right now, this team is structured similar to that Timberwolves team last year, where they have one great guard, a couple shooters, and 2 big men, with one being very talented. I believe that if both can actually stay healthy, they could make a run, especially with the size that they have now. But this team is now lacking offensive creation and good spacing, which I'm concerned will bite them back later in the playoffs. And maybe most importantly, Their championship window is much shorter given that AD is 31 years old. Now, for the Lakers, this is pretty simple. This was the gift that they really needed. To get a cornerstone piece when their future was looking bleak was the absolute dream. But for now, this trade is for sure a lose now, win later trade, which completely conflicts with what they have. LeBron isn't getting any younger, and I do think that the fit with LeBron is a little weird. They're both best with the ball in their hands, and Luka doesn't really offer any off ball value. Their center now is Christian Koloko and Jackson Hayes, two guys you know are not good rim protectors by any means. So with Luka in the lineup, there might be the possibility of LeBron starting as the center, and as we've detailed this year, his defense has been rather inconsistent, so having him hang around the paint might be the best option. Then to fill out the perimeter, I'd see a combination of Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Vanderbilt to really fill out the size. But the point here is not now, but the future. Luka is going to be a free agent in 2026, so the Lakers need to make sure they find him to pieces to fill this roster out. I see this similar to what the Mavs did in 2023 when they acquired Kyrie Irving, had a terrible defense that season, but then found the pieces they needed to build a cohesive roster. The Lakers now have the same challenge to get Luka rim protection and more shooting. The roster is probably one of the weirdest structured in the league right now, but you have to take that risk, especially with a superstar of that caliber. For now, I definitely think the Lakers won this deal, but I'm convinced there's more to the story. There's just no way this happened just for conditioning concerns. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I also made a Blue Sky account recently that I'd love for you guys to follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.